Hello everyone, my name is Jessie Skinner and you're listening to A Healthy Imagination. On this show, I'll explore how to be creative while being mindful of your own mental, physical, and spiritual well-being. On this episode, entitled The Hard Work, we'll talk about how to avoid creative burnout. Being creative can be exhausting, mentally, physically, and spiritually. We go through all kinds of burnout in the pursuit of bringing to life what we see in our minds. Fighting that burnout involves more than taking a literal rest. It's about reconsidering the mental and physical spaces in which we practice our craft. One of the problems with being creative is that inspiration often occurs in the midst of a less than positive emotional state. I feel sad, so I'm going to write a song, perhaps. Or, I'm angry with my employer, I'm going to start my own company. To some extent, this is only natural, and negative emotions can be a powerful motivator for creative solutions. But we should be careful not to turn this negative mental feedback into the only engine of our creativity. If we associate creativity too strongly with emotional turmoil, we may begin to accept poor health as its byproduct. This is unhealthy for ourselves and rarely, if ever, helpful for the work itself. The cliché of the tormented artist has left too much damage in its wake. One of the most talked about stories of recent years involving the struggle for creative perfection is told in the popular 2016 film Whiplash, in which a young, inspiring musician is pushed beyond his mental and physical limits to impress his demanding instructor. The Oscar-winning movie ultimately leaves the value of the main character's sacrifice of their own well-being as an open-ended question, which strikes me as irresponsible. To paraphrase an actual jazz musician in their critique of the film and its ambiguous message, if playing music hurts you, you're doing it wrong. In my mind, this applies to all acts of creativity. We should also make sure not to wait until we're bored to be creative. Ideas are not food. We don't need to feel restless to imagine them, the way we may wait until we're hungry to eat. Try this sometime. Test out a new creative pursuit at an inconvenient time, instead of only when you have nothing else going on. Write a poem in the middle of a party. Try some choreography on your walk to work. See what happens when you do your thing in different emotional states and physical surroundings. Separate the idea of creativity from the muted emotional state of boredom and from the demands of time and space. Some questions to ponder at the end of this episode. Think about your own creative space. How closely are you relying on its conditions to produce great work? How can you take this work with you throughout your everyday life?